Okay, so finding your comfortable seat for this morning. We'll be using our belt in a few moments, so just keep the belt nearby. Lifting your spine up nice and tall and gently closing your eyes. Let's take some slow, deep breaths here. Working into connecting mind, body, and breath. Setting an intention for this morning's practice. And either silently repeating the intention or creating an image of it and placing it into the third eye. Using this next hour as an opportunity to connect into your deeper being. Trying to balance the physical practice with the deeper mental, emotional practice. And we'll take a few rounds of alternate nostril breath, bringing the right hand to the face, thumb to the right nostril, ring finger to the left, and two middle fingers can either touch the forehead or tuck in. Leaving both nostrils open, take a deep inhale breath. Deeply exhale through both nostrils. Block right and inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Block and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Block and hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. That's one round. Taking another 5 rounds at your own pace. If your mind starts to wander through the breath, just simply let go of whatever thoughts were interrupting and return to your breath. At the end of your last round, keep the eyes closed. Bring your hand back to your knee and just sit in stillness for a moment, feeling the effects of your pranayama. And then slowly lowering chin to chest as you blink your eyes open. And inhale to lift. Let's grab hold of the strap now. And you want to make your strap quite long, wider than the shoulders. Without letting the rib cage pop, you're going to inhale the arms overhead and exhale the hands behind the back. If you need to bend your elbows, then lengthen the grasp on the strap even more, so that the hands are further apart. If you feel that you're not getting enough of a stretch, bring the hands closer together. And again, you're going to connect the movement and the breath. We're trying to isolate the movement into the shoulders and not into the spine. Often people with very tight shoulders tend to hyper extend into the middle and upper back to accommodate the lack of flexibility in the shoulders. So if that's you, you need to really engage into the core muscles and keep the rib cage pressing towards the belly button so that we're not lifting the spine, but rather working into the shoulders. Should be no tension in the neck. Finishing off your next round, and then bring the hands about shoulder distance wide. Let's inhale the hands overhead and then pull one elbow behind the skull, reaching the opposite arm back and away from the body. Your neck should be in neutral position, so we're not tucking chin to chest here. Head in neutral, and then you're reaching that arm behind the head. Let's come back to center and then over to the other side. And then coming back to center. Separate the hands just a little bit, not too wide. And we're going to reach one hand over to the side, pulling into the whole side body here by pushing your hip down and then reaching the arm in the opposite direction, stretch through the ribs and the side torso. Let's come back to center and then over to the other side. And then coming back to center. You can release your strap down. We'll come back to it at a later stage. Coming over onto hands and knees now for tabletop. And flowing through your cat-cow pose. Finishing off your next round and coming into neutral spine. Let's float up right arm and left leg in the spinal stretch balance. Reaching fingers in one direction, heel in the other, but try to line the shoulders and the hips up again so that we're not stretching in an unequal alignment. Bring your hand back to hold onto the foot and then lift the chest as you lift the leg. Let's inhale to extend again. And then exhale, just the hand to the mat. Square the hips off, and then as you exhale, draw the knee to the side. I'm going to work little circles into the hip joint. And then change in the direction of the circle. Let's inhale, extend the leg out to the side, float the foot as high as you can, and then gently put the foot to the floor. We're going to lift up onto the knee. Your toes can point forward or sideways, whichever works better for you. Reaching the hands out either side. Inhale, coming over your straight leg. And then returning to center and over the left. You can stay here if this feels good. Otherwise, float the hand up, float the foot up. Make sure you're very light into your supporting hand. Again, you can stay here if you like, or you can bend the knee, holding into the foot, and taking the bind. Let's come out of the pose the way we got in, step by step, and then returning to tabletop. Floating up left arm and right leg. There should be very little weight in the supporting hand and knee. You're lifting the weight to the sky. Coming into the bind behind the back, holding onto the foot, and then lift your chest as much as you lift the leg. Let's inhale, extend, and then just lowering the hand to the mat. Bring the knee to the side, lifting the knee as high as is comfortable to go, and then working into little circles into the hip joint. If the hips are very tight, this is not the most comfortable position, so just lower the knees slightly and make sure that you're breathing into the release. You can change the direction of the circle one more time. And then extend that foot out to the side, floating it in the sky before gently lowering down on the exhale. Inhale, coming up to sit on your knee. Extend the hands. And then folding over the straight leg. Let's come back to the other side, extending the top arm over the ear. You're very welcome to stay here, or you can float the arm up, float the leg up. Again, you're very welcome to stay here, or maybe come into sugar cane, holding onto the foot behind you. Let's come out of the pose the way we got in, lowering step by step, and coming back to tabletop. Tucking toes, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Now we can heel toe the feet, stretching out any tightness in the back of the legs. Remember to work the feet and the toes in this movement. So the higher you come onto the one heel, the more pressure you can get into the toe joint. Shake your head yes and no, ensuring that there's no tension in your neck. And then let's release both heels to the floor. Walk the hands back towards your toes, and float your chest up into flat back. Feel free to bring hands to the shin bones if you need extra height. And then as you exhale, we're going to lengthen the body, forward fold. Bend your knees, should that be more appropriate for you. And we're going to do this a few times, undulating up into our flat back and then undulating down into the fold. You can connect your breath here, connect your intention to the movement. One more time to fold, and then bend your knees and roll up. Rounding the back as you roll up. Come all the way to stand. Let's take the hands overhead. Hook the thumbs above you, spreading the fingers wide and working to a neutral spine. Leaning over to one side. Inhale. Drawing back to center, over to the other side. And drawing back to center. Float your right knee to your chest. Engage into the core muscles and see if you can get your knee a bit closer to the armpit. Let's engage the leg to lower it back down, and then floating left leg to the chest. Lift the knee to the armpit without forward folding. Stay upright here. And then engage the leg to lower it back down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, swan dive. Strong, straight body as you lower. Inhale, halfway lift. And then walk yourself forward into a plank pose. Let's float in the plank, engage into the core, slightly rounding the shoulder blades. Coming down, knees, chest and chin, all the way to the tummy, all the way down. Lie flat, open the hands wide onto fingertips, and then lift the chest into wide cobra. Strong legs pulling the spine long here. And gently releasing down. Let's slide through child's pose. And into downward facing dog. On the inhale breath, taking the right leg to the sky. You're going to open your hip up nice and wide, and then bend into the knee, bringing the heel to the glute. Turn the chest open to face the side of your mat, keeping your supporting limbs in their down dog alignment. Let's inhale to lengthen and square, and exhale to step the foot into a lunge at the front of the mat. So bend the back knee down to the floor, and inhale to straighten that front thigh. Walk the hands back slightly, square the hips, and then plug down through big toe and baby toe evenly. If you've got a bit more space, you can forward fold. If you don't have the space, stay lifted on the fingertips. On your inhale breath, re-bend into that front knee. Let's float the back knee off the mat. Engage strongly into the core, and then step your back knee to your chest, coming all the way up. Flex the foot and lift the knee to the armpit without compromising your standing position. Let's open the right hand to the side and then bring the knee to the side as well. Let's inhale, coming back to center. Hold onto the knee with the right hand, and then kick your knee straight forward as you reach your left hand back. Keep that knee nice and engaged, foot flexed, lifting tall. Let's inhale to the center, hug the knee to the chest. And now working onto your balance a bit deeper here, we're going to start to hug our body over our thigh, rounding into the back, and then coming back up to center. Engage the leg to lower the foot. Tadasana. Inhale the hands to the sky. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway up. And exhale to fold. Let's step right leg, left leg into plank. Float your body in your plank, and then dropping knees, chest, and chin. Let's slide all the way to the tummy, bringing the hands out to the side, wide cobra. Bend the elbows 90 degrees. Lift your chest, and then gently releasing down, come through child's pose. And into downward facing dog. Couple of deep breaths here. On the inhale breath, let's take the left leg to the sky. And then opening the hip to the side of the mat, turn your gaze underneath your shoulder. Bend into that top knee. Keep your arms and your supporting foot in down dog alignment, and then pivot against that alignment to open up. Let's square off on an inhale, lengthening the leg, and then stepping the foot forward on an exhale into lunge. Lower the back knee down to the mat, and inhaling the front leg straight, Ardha Hanumanasana. Press down evenly, big toe, baby toe. Square the hip by sliding the left hip slightly back, right hip slightly forward. If you have space, you can fold. Let's inhale, back up to center, rebend the front knee as you float the back knee off the floor. Engage into the core muscles. The back knee is going to come to the chest, standing all the way up. Lengthen the torso and lift your knee to the armpit. Keep it really strong and engaged. Left arm to the side and open your knee out. Let's return to the center, taking it into the dancing Shiva twist. Left hand to shin and right hand back. Leg and arm moving in opposite directions. Let's return to the center, lift your knee, and now round your back, hugging over your thigh muscle. And inhaling to lift. Let's engage that leg, lowering it down, and standing to Tadasana. Inhale, hands overhead. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, stepping left leg, right leg back into plank. And lowering knees, chest and chin all the way down to the mat. Let's flatten the body, bring the hands to the sides, elbows lifting, and open up the heart. Exhale, coming down, move through child's pose. and into downward facing dog. On the inhale breath, taking your right leg to the sky. Open that hip, bend the knee, stretching into the side body. Inhale to straighten, exhale to step the foot forward into lunge. On the inhale breath, float your hands up, high lunge. So make sure you're nice and high on the back foot. If the feet are too wide, you can always step them a bit closer together. Lengthen out of the lower back. Breathe into the space. You're going to inhale the hands behind, interlocking fingers, and opening up the shoulder blades. We're coming into a humble warrior, but the back heel is off the mat. So as you forward fold, you're maintaining your lunge alignment. Square hips, high back heel. From here, release the hands, sweep them in line with the ears, coming halfway up into Superman pose. You want a straight line from heel to hands here. Try not to rest on the front thigh. If this is too intense for you, you're welcome to bring your hands onto your front leg to support the torso. We're now going to bounce forward and back a few times to get momentum to draw the back knee to the chest. Float your body as tall as you can. We're now going to work with the strap again. So make your way to get your strap. You can place it around the shoulders. And then draw the knee back to the chest. So finding your balance here is the first step. The next step is to take your strap around the ball of the foot and then kick your leg out in front of you. You don't want the shoulders to be pulling out of the sockets, so it's better to have the elbows bent next to the torso, strap a bit longer. And then as the body opens, you can start to work on lifting that leg a bit higher. You may not be at that stage, that's fine. Maybe the knee is still slightly bent. Totally okay. Let's hold onto the strap with just the left hand. Right arm to the side, and now open your leg out. Imagine that there's a wall in front of you, and you are pressing your torso, your leg, and your arm to line up evenly against the wall. Let's return to the center, moving into the twist. Hold onto the strap with your right hand and send your left arm back. So these are the same movements we did previously with the knee bent, just extending them a bit deeper now, which means that the next one is going to be your fold, holding onto your strap or your foot and gently forward folding over your leg. Let's come back up to stand, strong leg, releasing down, place your strap close by, and holding into Tadasana. Inhale the hands overhead, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Stepping left leg, right leg back into plank. And lowering knees, chest, chin all the way to the mat. Flatten the torso, hands into a T shape, and lift the chest, wide cobra. Exhale, releasing. Come into child's pose. and back into downward facing dog. Let's take the left leg to the sky. Opening the hip, turning the gaze underneath your left arm, and then bending into that top knee. Pull the torso open with the intensity of the leg reaching back. Let's square the hips, straighten the leg, inhale, and step the foot forward, exhale. Floating yourself up, high lunge. Hips are square, shoulders are square, lift up out of the lower back. Let's bring the hands behind you, interlocking fingers, and opening up the chest by drawing the shoulder blades together. Forward folding into humble warrior. If you find the balance is too intense, you can bring your back heel down. Let's release the hands and sweep them up in line with the ears. Superman pose. And then create a little bit of a bounce through that back toe to float the back knee up to the chest. Let's get the straps ready now. Finding your balance. Bringing the strap around the ball of the right foot. Remember to make the strap a bit longer so the elbows can bend slightly. And when your elbows bend, it's like you're on a rowboat, puffing the chest out forward. Come into the side variation, opening the right leg to the right, the left hand to the left. Let's return to the center and take it into the twist. Returning to the center and now making your way into fold. Coming back up to stand, just engage the leg and lower it back to Tadasana. And put your strap down. It's inhale, hands overhead, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, floating halfway up, and exhale to fold. You're going to walk, step, or hop yourself into plank, lowering knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, cobra, or upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Let's take the knees to the floor and have a few breaths in a wide-kneed child's pose. Try to find a comfortable space for the arms, maybe forward, maybe under the forehead, maybe next to the hips. Use this as an opportunity to connect to your Ujjayi breath again. Softening any tension you may feel. Re-energizing if you feel lazy or tired. reminding yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of practice. Slowly lift yourself back up to sit and then swing your legs out in front of you. You're going to draw your left knee into your chest and then open the left knee to the side. So the foot comes to the inner thigh and you are pushing your legs into as wide a V as you can comfortably maintain. The middle toe of the straight leg needs to be pointing straight at the sky. So make sure it's not flopping sideways either way, straight up. Coming into Prasarita Janashasasana by bending your right elbow to your inner thigh. It might touch the floor, it might touch the top of the thigh, either is fine. Take the left hand over the back of the head. So like we did with the strap earlier, try to get the hand behind the head without pushing the chin forward. Let's rotate the ribcage up to the sky. And if you'd like to, you can use your strap here by placing the strap around the ball of the foot, holding it into the top hand, and then using the strap and the alignment of the arm to try and pull that elbow further back. Your face can look at the floor, in line with the chest, or to the sky, whatever feels most comfortable for your neck. Let's inhale, releasing here, coming back up to sit. Keep the legs in the alignment that they are, but square the hips to the front of the mat. So you're now facing the short edge. Taking the strap around the ball of the foot again. Lift up tall and use that tension between the strap and the foot to grow that spine a bit taller. And then maintain that elongation into your spine as you gently hinge over your front leg. Being mindful to not let the spine round here. Square the shoulders, square the ribs, and reach forward as opposed to reaching down. And straighten up halfway. You're now going to bring your left hand to the outside of your foot, ankle, calf, wherever it reaches. Right hand behind you. And then use the tension created in the arms to gently twist your way back while also forward folding. Let's return to the center. Cross the wrists to hold foot, ankle, calf, and now gently forward fold. You can slightly round into the back this time and create a much more releasing, relaxing movement. And then coming back up to sit. Let's rebend the left knee and then extend the left leg forward. Right foot coming in, foot to the inner thigh, and now open yourself into your V shape. So you want to actively reach the legs away from one another. Left elbow to the inner thigh, whether that comes to the top or the bottom is fine, as long as you're working towards the inside of that thigh. Let's take the right arm over, twisting the chest. If you'd like to add in the strap, you can. If you're happy where you are, you don't need to use it. Let's release from here, returning to center. Sitting straight now, lining the hips up to the short edge of the mat. Create some tension into your spine, using the strap and the leg to grow up tall. And then maintain that tension as you now forward fold. Connect your breath to your movement. Let's lift halfway up, bringing the right hand to the outer edge of the foot, the ankle, the calf. Left hand behind, and then use the arms to help facilitate the rotation here. Let's return to the center, cross the wrists, and gently fold. And lift back up to center. Take your knee to your chest, and then extend the leg forward. You can just move your strap out the way. Coming now to lie down on your back. And then take your knees into your chest. Just hold in our Upasana, softening the body, lengthening the breath. Coming into a reclining twist of your choice. I'm going to use eagle twist today because I want a little bit more intensity, but if you don't want the intensity, you can come into a single leg or a double leg twist. Let's return to the center, unwrap the legs, and take it to the other side. Return to the center, unwrap the legs, hug the knees back into the chest. And then making your way into Shavasana. Spread the feet evenly, spread the arms evenly. Slightly drawing shoulder blades together, slightly tucking chin to chest. Slowly starts to deepen and lengthen your breath. Gently running your thumb over the tips of your fingers, moving your toes, ankles and wrists, coming into a full body stretch by reaching the arms overhead, drawing the legs together, yawning or sighing. Bending your knees as you roll onto your side in your fetal position. Inhale to lift into a comfortable seated space. Joining your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. Let's close our eyes and chant the mantra Om once and Shanti 3 times. Taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Raising your hands to your third eye. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Lowering your hands to your lips, to your heart, to your mat, bowing forward in recognition of your practice. Blinking eyes open, inhaling to lift. Namaste.